Doing this again. Hopefully less stupidly. Going to be speedrunning this as quickly as I can, and probably cutting out most of it. Ah, right, this. Okay, last time I didn't get any change in morale, so I'll do the opposite this time. Give them what they asked for. You see no problem in letting them enjoy themselves. You give them tankard after tankard of the strongest drinks you can find. The villagers drunkenly tell you they love you as you pour drink after drink. Charisma +2. Within the hour, they're so far gone that you're impressed they can stay conscious. The next morning, however, they're in such a sorry state that they can barely work. Overall, much less work gets done as a result. Morale -10. Well, I guess I made exactly one correct choice last time. Alright, try to heal the fox. You do your best to get the fox out of the trap. It seems to understand that you're trying to help it. Thanks to your work with Lasara, you know how to treat the fox's injuries. Eventually, the injuries are properly treated and patched up. It's still weak and limping, however. What are we going to do with him now? He can't survive out here by himself. As she says that, the fox nestles its head on your hand. Aw, he likes you. You know, it's not unheard of for these foxes to be raised by humans. Maybe you should keep him. He's fond of you, at least. You carry the fox cub back to the village and keep it with you. Funnily enough, the villagers love him. They shower him with attention whenever he's outside, and the presence of a small fluffy animal lifts everyone's spirits. This helps the village's morale and work a little bit. Yeah, I'm even. You go to sleep for the night. Contrary to what... Hey, KGY. Good evening. Oh, KGY, did you give that fox a name yet? Nope. Good choice, I like it. Alright, look for ore deeper in the mines. You spend the rest of the day delving deeper into the mines looking for ore deposits. Your understanding of the cavern system improves as you navigate the winding tunnels. Intelligence +1. Ah, that's much better than Charisma. Alright, last time I tried to see if any of the herbs could help. This time, throw some food. Take some of the smallest animals you caught and throw them as far as you can into the forest. With your strength, you can barely throw the animals more than a few feet. The wolves run straight for you both, barking wildly. They overwhelm you quickly, clawing and biting at you. You both drop all the food and dive away from the pack, but not before you feel teeth sink in your leg. To make matters worse, you also hear Kira let out a sharp cry of pain. She's covering part of her hand. Ah, dang it. Morale -10. So, I've got failures for both of those, at least. She also needs to tell each of their families about their conditions. Looks like you have to tell everyone about these things. You tell the families only what they need to know, leaving out the gory details and the odds of survival. They're still flustered by the bad news, but they seem to appreciate you telling them. You put many families at ease tonight. Charisma +1. Morale +10. Well, that was an obvious thing that I didn't do last time. You relax in the tavern. He screams about how the village is doomed. That is probably a charisma test, so this is probably a strength test. You approach the man directly, deciding to throw him out. Ah, dang it. It's not strength, it's agility. Turn her on her back carefully, she's barely conscious. Fell from a steep hill, bleeding profusely. You lift the woman as carefully as you can and hurry to Lysara's clinic. Your agility is lacking. You can't cover as much distance as you'd like, and you cause her even more pain as you run. She loses consciousness as you enter the village. You burst into the clinic and Lysara quickly makes space on her table to treat her. She does everything she can to help the woman. After a few minutes, however, it becomes clear that the woman isn't going to recover. You return home, furious with yourself for not being able to do anything. Morale -10. The path has been cut off by what must have been a recent landslide. Mounds of large boulders are clustered. This is impossible. Alright, taking the long way home just happens after you fail to try to move the boulders, so you try pushing one of the larger boulders along the ground. With your strength, you're able to push it through the dirt and off the path. You move the larger boulders while Kira takes care of the lighter ones. As you near the end of the boulders, you notice something unusual. A man had been caught in the landslide and is crushed under the rocks. It looks like his arm and leg is badly broken and he's unconscious. Miraculously, he's still just about alive. What? He's still alive? But just barely, it seems. Come on, let's get him to Lissa. She may be able to help him. You scramble to bring the man to Lissa. She manages to bring the man back to a stable condition after an hour of intense work. She tells you she'll be conscious soon enough, and that she'll be sure to tell him who is responsible for saving his life. You leave the man with Lysara, feeling good about yourself. Morale +10. You return to the village after work and find that all the villagers are boarding up their homes in preparation for the storm. They're racked with anxiety, and many of them are at the end of their strength. You should help out in some way. Well, you do. I have 23 charisma. You act as a group leader, giving the villagers encouragement and motivation. Your speech boosts the villagers' work efforts greatly. They double their pace with newfound energy. Everyone is satisfied with their work at the end of the day. Morale +10. You go to sleep for the night. And in the end, the sun rises and the storm fades away quickly. Some of the buildings were beaten down by the storm, and many are injured. There's a few who have yet to be found. But overall, you survived. Once the blizzards die out completely, you have no choice but to leave. The village is overflowing due to the loss of several buildings. There's simply no room for you here, much to Kira and Lysara's disappointment. They send you off at the village entrance, along with the Chieftain, who thanks you for your assistance during your time there. As you walk through the now peaceful mountains, you wonder what would have happened had things turned out differently. You put those thoughts aside, however, and continue on through the snow, planning your next journey. Wherever that may be. The end. And one more time, hopefully for the last time, to get the good ending. Now that I've gone through twice, and I'm pretty sure what I need to do, and dang it. Pretty sure I know what I need to do in order to get it. Heal Fox. Okay, I think I have the theoretically highest possible intelligence at this point. So if these herbs can't help, nothing can. You rummage through the bag of herbs on Kira's back. Your time spent as Lysara's assistant is coming in handy. You recognize one of the unusual herbs, a Millikan puffball. You remember learning that this fungus releases clouds of toxic fumes when they're burst open. You quickly take it out of the bag and tell Kira to hold her breath. You slam it into the ground in front of the wolves. It erupts into a burst of sickly white mist, and the wolves start coughing violently. You take the chance to sprint toward the village, the wolves not likely to follow. The surplus of food you brought back has everyone in high spirits and full of energy. Morale plus 10. As opposed to the net, which is a net plus 20 from what I did last time, so I'm doing much better.
KGY, was it? How goes work?
Talk to the Chieftain about your work and how you've been doing.
I see. I should thank you for your actions yesterday. You kept my daughter safe and helped bring in a large supply of food. I know Kira could have handled that situation herself, true, but your quick thinking is admirable. Perhaps I was wrong about you. You might be more than just another mouth to feed in these times. However, you have a lot more to prove. Time will tell whether you're a hindrance to this village or a valuable asset to it.
He talks to you in a similar fashion for a long while longer. Soon after, he dismisses you, saying he needs to plan for the next few days. Charisma plus 1. Alright, 7 charisma is enough to do that. After a while, a rough-looking man bolts up from his chair and begins shouting at the top of his lungs, his words slurred. He screams about how the village is doomed and how there's no way to save it from the storm. He speaks about how he was one of the few survivors of the same catastrophe in one of the northern cities. The other villagers are clearly affected by his words, but they seem too low-spirited to do anything about him. What do? You try to calm the man down to the best of your abilities. Your words have no effect on him, and you make a weak attempt at swaying his opinion. Everyone looks even more defeated and you return to slump in your chair, Kira's expression dark. Morale minus 10. Well, dang. Aha! 19 intelligence. Am I smart enough to treat her work? You've helped Lysara treat wounds similar to this before. You're able to stop the bleeding and ease some of the pain with some potions in your bag. She'll need more advanced treatment from Lysara, but you bought the woman much more time. You carry the woman to Lysara's clinic, where she quickly makes space to treat her. After a few hours, the woman is healed up and sleeping soundly. You return home for the night, proud of yourself for saving a life. Morale plus 10. We saved her in the nick of time. You should have seen the family's reaction when I told them she'd be okay. It's been a while since we last had the chance to talk. You take over for the more exhausted villagers. You haul huge logs in front of houses and pin them to the walls. With your strength, you manage to do enough work for 2 people. The villagers are comforted by the quality of your work, feeling safer for it. Morale, 100 out of 100. You go to sleep for the night. And in the end, the sun rises and the storm fades away and the storm fades away quickly. The black clouds make way for a clear blue sky. The storm was no match for the combined determination of the village. The village greets you the following morning, the same as always. You spend that day and night celebrating with the villagers. The following morning, you start packing what few belongings you have, preparing to leave. It would be wrong of you to assume you can just be a freeloader here, after the hospitality you've been shown. You step outside to find the others talking amongst themselves. They call you over when they see you. KGY, you're getting ready to leave, right? Father said he wanted to tell you something.
You see, the village survived the storm with only minor damage. That means there's plenty of room available here, and we owe you a great deal for helping us. If you wish, you can call this place your home. If you still need to leave, just know that the village will always welcome you as its own.
Whether you want to stay or not is up to you. Things would certainly be a lot more interesting with you around, though. And I'm sure Nope here would agree with me on that one. Even though he's, still sleeping, as always. I swear you don't move an inch unless someone's petting you. We understand if you have places to be, however. The choice is yours. So, what'll it be? The end. And, well, that was Millika Village. I really have nothing else to say on the subject. I'll just end it here.